Alright, everybody. So we are here with the top 4 match between Justin Desai and Johnny Chu. It looks like Chu is playing Dark Side, so I need to fix that. And Justin is playing Light Side. It looks like it is Senate versus Senate. So this is something that most people will be happy that I'm calling, I guess. Light side has an advantage here, but Chu's starting a little bit different with Dark Side Senate Racing. And then he starts Watto's Box, which is pretty much an auto ad for Dark Side Racing because it adds 5 to the amount loss and adds 5 to the amount retrieve, so it's an 11-4 swing. Justin starts Security Control, which gives a lot of his senators forfeit +2, and he can deploy a docking bay, strike planning, and Colo Clawfish, which is pretty much an auto start for light side or dark side if they can. Dark side racing and this isn't as good because the light side shield is so much better for against racing than the dark side shield was. The dark side shield is still good, but you had to have, I believe the dark side shield says you have to have an actual pod racer for it, whereas the light side shield does not say that. So, but the main reason why light side has an advantage in this matchup is the forfeit bonuses, and they can get back to tank. And back to tank, being able to loop your senators back to the Senate will mean at some point you are going to take control of the Senate. So Johnny starts the race, draws combat response, so he's got an 8 already in the race. Justin will go ahead and draw a Race Destiny as well. Draws Luke. We'll see if he actually stacks it. Yeah, I didn't think he would stack that. Johnny also used Squabbling Delegates to get Lot Dodd, and he'll get the bridge out, I'm sure. So this format, for those that aren't familiar with it, the activation does ramp up a little bit slower than our current game. Players tend to have to find activation or have, the docking bay puller a little bit more. There's not a lot of objectives or anything that pull out battlegrounds. I mean, you still got QMC that does it. So your force activation you need, usually was docking bays and mob points or staging areas at the time. So Johnny just saves 5. Desai activates 6, pulls a docking bay. We'll see if Desai goes to the Senate first or not. Now he's going to go ahead and pull Yoda to pull a Sense, I would assume, or he may not pull it right now because you can pull Sense or you can pull a Control Tunnel Vision, both of which are really good. And we'll see Chu go ahead and pull a shield. Yep, and he goes, I'm willing to bet. Oh, he takes Alter. That's even better. Which Alter? So yeah, this one, the episode 1/1 will let him hit the political effects, which is pretty huge. But because Chu pulled oppressive enforcement, then this will loop back. You may notice that Chu hasn't pulled the grabber shield yet. In this format, you get 3 shield pulls and that's it. So you tend to have to be a little bit more strict on your shield pulling. You just can't pull whatever floats your boat. You gotta think and plan ahead. Alright, so Justin plays Yoda, plays a Might to go get Horrocks. Horrocks is a senator that will limit Chu in space from drawing more than one Destiny, but you can't cancel it, so you can't use like Wedge and somebody to cancel that one destiny. So Chu initiates the race, draws P59, light side draws Corrin. So, I mean, this looks like a pretty standard light side Senate from Justin. I have no idea what Chu's up to because Senate didn't play racing. So Chu's just drawing some cards. I'm guessing when he looked through his deck for the Blockade flagship site, he determined that the 5 force there wasn't worth drawing. So he saved it. Chu's really good if you haven't figured out. And one of the things he always does is on those first turn, or anytime he gets to look through his reserve deck, he will know exactly what's in his force pile every turn. So he knows exactly what those 6 force are and doesn't want them. That's the way Chu plays. Chu played Squab to get Toonbook. If Darkside's got majority, they can add 1 to attrition for each character with ambition. There's a fair bit of senators with ambition on Darkside, so this is gonna let them actually push through some attrition. Justin drops Palpatine and Horrocks. Palpatine, while he's in Senate majority, once per turn, if they drew a battle destiny, you can use the force to add its destiny number to your total. And then you can't cancel that draw. But you can add it, use the political effects to add 3, subtract 3, do all that kind of shenanigans. So Justin flips his objective, goes and uses it to pull a political effect, takes the gravest circumstances, goes ahead and deploys it. This is the add 3/1. And then this little lines of text, each one of the political effects has something like this. And they all have good text on them. So if there's a taxation agenda here, during your turn you may place any 1 card from your hand on use pile, and then your opponent has to use 1 force or lose 1 force. So it can cause some direct damage, or it can get them into a situation where they can't get from the draw their fire or first strike. Well, I guess draw their fire. Justin goes and moves Yoda over, plays Wisa to get Boss Nash Chambers. I assume Justin will use his objective to go get in a political effect. He does. Darkside Senate has the cheaper characters for their senators. And right now, Horrocks is the only one that's getting a forfeit bonus, so he's forfeit of 6. Palpatine's 5. And Yoda is 7. So Justin's got some decent forfeit to not lose control of the Senate, or lose the Senate completely, to where he can counterattack next turn, and he's still got his 12 cards in hand. And we'll see if Chu actually goes down to try to fight him there or not. One thing you'll notice, it's turn 3 and there's not an actual single battleground. And now Chu is actually going to go ahead and start doing some damage if he doesn't get rid of Yoda. Not too bad, but... And it gets Johnny's activation up to 9. You'll see that the activation ratios are definitely lower by this time in open. Players would be activating 18 force. So it does look like Chu's just going to keep developing his hand rather than going down to fight Justin. We'll see if Chu goes ahead and pulls battle order and make Justin pay, which paying 3 when you're only activating 9 isn't a ton. Yeah, and you're going to see Chu leave that 6 force. He knows exactly what's in there. He doesn't want any card out of there, so he's always going to save that 6 force. He doesn't go ahead and pull battle order, so just takes a drain of 1, loses the motion supported, which is the add 2 at a battleground. These guys know each other's decks, so I'm betting that there will not actually be a battleground that hits the table this turn. Justin lost 1 to the cave because Yoda's not there, so he loses the fish killer. This is the effect that light side will sometimes start if the dark side will play Cola Clawfish. So Justin gets his political effects online. He has the add 3, subtract 3. This one also has, if an orange agenda here during your move phase, you can peek at the top 2 cards of any reserve deck. This one's a little bit not as good, but it's, you know, the main part is subtracting 3 there. Justin plays General Carlist Rican. He is a rebel leader. Oh wait, no, I guess he's not a leader. It says leader. So he's getting +2 politics, so he is politics 4 in the Senate. This is another reason why light side tends to do a little bit better. They've got more random rebel leaders that end up getting politics +2 from both sides, so it allows them to get to higher politics counts so they can maintain control of the Senate. And you'll notice that all the senators have game text of Wallen Senate majority. Wallen Senate majority. So that means your power has to be higher than theirs at the Senate. Oh, there, Johnny goes ahead and deploys Naboo. So I bet that's probably what he was looking for. And we'll see if Justin's actually playing anything other than Honshu and the Falcon. Although, at that rate, probably not. Did Chu not actually draw race? No, Chu did not do race this turn. No, he's drawing into that 6 cards, so maybe he needs more cards to lose. And Chu's kind of holding the race, I guess, because of he's at 22. He can retrieve 11, so he's just kind of holding it until, Justin causes a little bit more damage. Retrieving 2 isn't all that big. And right now he's doing 1 damage to Yoda, and he'll eventually cause 11 from here. And there's not much Justin can really do right now. He goes ahead and plays the Senate canceling, or the drain canceling effect, and the drain adding effect. We'll see if Justin has like a battle plans or something. Usually Light Senate played that to drop down on and start adding to his drains. And we'll see if either of the players actually go ahead and pull battle order. And because Justin looked at his deck, Johnny will play Pod Racer Collision. So this is changing the odds for Dark Side. It's a fairly good interrupt, I think, in a lot of times. But if you just verified your opponent's reserve deck, search it, place 1 interrupt there, found out a play. It's free force loss that doesn't ever get retrieved. And so Justin will go ahead and play Might to retrieve 3 for free. And Johnny's kicking himself for not having Secret Plans or Coward, I would imagine. Justin plays Liana, who, while in Senate majority once during your opponent's turn, they get targeted opponents just drawn Battle Destiny. They either must use or lose 2 force, or that Destiny becomes 0. So Justin's kind of putting a lock on the Senate right now. And he also retrieved Valorum, I believe. Where is he? There he is. Wait. Stop. There we go. So he is, while in Senate majority once per turn, may use 2 force to cancel a just drawn Battle Destiny at another site where you have a Republic character. And then your opponent can reduce his politics. His politics is 5. So this helps give light side even more bonus in the Senate to always maintain that Senate majority. Yeah, and Justin goes and plays Wisa, but he fails to find Chu sees the OPC killer. Justin plays another Might of the Republic to take either Valorum or another senator, so he takes Lieutenant Brandon or Bendon. While in Senate Majority, if you have at least one card in hand, you can place your hand in use pile to draw up to 4 cards from reserved. Justin probably won't be utilizing that text anytime soon, but he will use it at some point. Let's see. So Baroni might be joining us in about 30 minutes to call this. So we shall see. So Chu drains, Justin cancels with queen on there, so he doesn't even have to deploy the queen. He can still use a senator on there because she doesn't count. Chu plays squab to get Baskel. Justin grabs the squab. Baskel is while in Senate Majority. During your control phase, they lose 1 force for each Naboo location you control. He controls the location, so it's more damage the dark side does, but dark side has to be in Senate Majority during their turn, which light side can battle and knock them out of that. So Justin activates, drains for 1. Chu loses ceasefire. Justin finally uses the Senate objective to place 2 cards back. I mean, he just probably didn't. He was planning his turns, needed force for something else. Has to lose a force to the cave. Uses 3 force to deploy Amidala. Again, raising his politics, and she's basically the opposite of Baskel. While in Senate Majority during control phase, you can retrieve 1 for each Naboo site. It's not location though. But the last line of text here, may be placed on your political effect instead of a senator, means that she can go on these, but she doesn't count as an actual senator on those, so you can still drop another senator or another Amidala on there. So Justin just drains for 1, takes 1, draws some cards, says go. Chu activates, drains for 2. Justin will cancel with another senator. Chu does not. Skips everything and just goes and draws. And then he draws, what, 5 and passes. And then Justin will go ahead and use 2 to put the senator back. Activates his whole deck. Drains for 1. He'll take 1 because of the cave. And honestly, I think this is the game that Chu's okay playing. He's doing 1-to-1 damage, but eventually this box will kick in and he will get to retrieve 11 and make Justin lose 11. This game has been kind of dictated by this here and Justin not having anything to do with it. So Chu knew exactly what he needed to find. He wanted to find this, and some space. And this space right here is enough to probably stop Justin from dropping it. There's the battle planes. So now Justin's going to sort of force Chu to do something. Chu lost the drain canceling effect as the first card. Or no, he lost the add 2 drain. Never mind. But now Justin's trying to go up on damage. So either Chu needs to drop the drain canceling one, which Justin can alter, because he did pull the alter with Yoda, and then Chu has to go find it again and redeploy it. But in the meantime, Justin will get through 2 damage, but it likely doesn't matter because at some point Chu will retrieve 11. So Chu activates all but one, drains, canceled, and we'll see. So he drops This Is Outrageous, which is the drain canceling one. Oops. And if a trade agenda here, once during your turn, you can place a card from hand in lost pile, shuffle that pile, and take top card into hand. So it lets you kind of blind Bringus in a way, but you could get a character or other things back. Alright. So Justin drains for 1 in the Senate. We'll see if he alters the drain canceling one or not. She loses limited resources. Yep, there's the alter. And draws a 3. So the drain canceler goes used. Justin will then drain for 2. Oh, he's going to drain for 4. He's going for it. So he'll drain for 4. Or he'll do that, and then Chu gets an action, so he'll make him pay 3 to do that drain of 4. So Chu loses a bunch of cards from his hand, I assume. Justin may. Yeah, Chu goes in and plays his last Shield of Coward, and you'll notice he doesn't have the grabber out. And these should be the only 2 battlegrounds. Lightside usually didn't play any space battlegrounds, and Darkside didn't really ever play any battleground sites, so this is kind of it. Lightside may have another Naboo location, but the docking bay or something. So Justin goes in and loses the Senate Hovercam into hand from the Dagobah Cave. Damage. So he drops Hanchu in the Falcon, but that doesn't get a Battle Destiny right now because of Zuckuss, so he's going to need another ship in hand to get around the Zuckuss text. Unless he's going to do draw their fire to just cause more damage, but again, these are things that Chu's going to pay 11 to retrieve 11 within a second. So now he just drops it to block the drain. So even though he's not going to get a Battle Destiny, Chu's only power 10 to his 9. Chu's Battle Destiny will then get added with Senator Palpatine, so it's kind of a wash. Justin's down 1. And that's a drain of 2, so he's saving a force by doing that. Chu does not activate, doesn't do anything probably in the control he'll go ahead and race this turn. Okay, so he gets a 4, so that should be enough to get there if he chooses to. Yep. Alright, so Chu's going to win the race this turn. Desai will pull the aim high shield to make him actually pay 11 to retrieve. We'll see if Chu has cannons. No, he has Expand the Empire to basically cancel Justin's drains at Boss Nass Chambers. This didn't really come up too much in that time era. This was one of those things that kind of came up later during the throne room era, where Darkseid would start playing this on their Boss Nash Chamber to stop the light side's battleground drains here. It may have been here and there at that time, but it wasn't something that was played regularly in Darkseid. So it's a nice little tech move from Chu to drop that and basically stop Justin from doing anything other than paying 3 to drain 1. So Justin's got 11 damage to satisfy here. This is kind of why Justin had that big hand, because he can lose a bunch of cards from it instead of losing blindly. But this is going to be a lot of damage. And so he lost Sando Aqua Monster, some Wisas, some Mites, 2 Queens, a Corn, a Palpatine, General Dodonna. So he lost a fair bit. And then Justin, his reserve deck is all of 10 with 10 in hand, so he's got 20 life force left. Whereas Chu's got 11 in hand and, well, hold on. He's drawing cards, so he's got 31, 32. Damn it. As soon as I count, 31 plus 13 is 44 life force to Justin's 20. Justin goes ahead and pays 2 to get his centers back in his deck, so he goes up to 12 life force, activates 8. We'll see if he pays 3 to drain 1 in the Senate. Yes, he does. Oh, he doesn't have to pay him. I'm sorry. He satisfies battle order. So he just drains for 1. He gets to retrieve 1 from Amidala. He gets to lose 1 from the cave. I honestly don't think you'll see Justin even, or Chu probably even deploy to the Senate at this rate. I mean, we'll see though. I expect he will battle or something up here next turn to try to get Justin to get rid of that. I'm curious about what Justin's trying to... Oh, he's just increasing his Amidala retrieval. So he will get to retrieve for 2. He's getting around the coward game tech, so Chu's going to have to battle up here to get rid of the coward, to get coward back in line, so then Justin can't drain in the Senate and can't retrieve because he doesn't control 2 battlegrounds. So we'll see if Chu either drops the cannons or something else to actually get rid of Hanju and the Falcon. Oh, no, never mind. Chu might be tracking to the 7 or something that he put back. But Justin can add 3 and subtract 3, so... And Chu's limited to 1 in space, but he's gonna... Okay, so he's gonna short range fighters for a 6, and then draw his other Battle Destiny. And that should be enough to get rid of the Hanju and the Falcon. So Justin will pay 1 to add that to his Destiny. Chu draws a 7. I thought he might have been tracking to that 7. It was clever and subtle. So now Justin can't add this because Palpatine's got the 1 rule in him, so it's also once per turn. So Chu or Justin will have to add 3, subtract 3 if he wants to do anything, but Chu's power goes up to 23. 24 because of him. So he's got to lose that and 1. Which is a little ironic. Because if he had just not done the 6, he could have grabbed that 7, and then he wouldn't have had to lose anything. Yeah, Chu's just drawing cards. He doesn't really need to go to the Senate. He's causing 1 damage from the cave. Chu's doing no damage, no retrieval. He's pretty much locked out of the game. Alright, so Justin will deploy to the pod race arena, which is now a battleground because the race isn't going on. So now Justin is around Coward. He still can't drain here. He can pay to drain for 1, pay to drain for 1, pay to drain for 2. But the more important thing is he's retrieving 2. So he draws a card. I assume he'll stop. Oh, okay. Figured he might have stopped to put the senators back, but maybe he didn't have a senator in his hand. Because Justin will need a senator to cancel this drain. Otherwise, Chu's doing more damage. So Chu's going to have to do something now to get rid of one of these 2 off of the battleground so he can force Justin not to satisfy Coward, so then Justin can't drain, can't do any damage, so he'll probably go after Obi to do that because Justin can't drain on Naboo. So if he goes after Obi, he will kick Justin off this battleground, start doing a damage again, stop Justin's retrieval from Amidala here, and Justin can't drain with Corrin because of Coward. So, like I said, I assume we're going to see a Maul with Saber come down on Obi. So, let's see. Chu's still in control phase. He goes to deploy phase. He drops the add 3. Subtract 3. And there's the Maul. So Chu will get rid of Obi out of this. Oh, he goes ahead and drops Lot Dodd too. Justin plays Might to go get a Senator so he can do some add 3, subtract 3 shenanigans. Chu deploys another Senator. Alright, so Chu's going. He thinks the pod race arena is the Senate, apparently. Darkseid didn't want to play in the Senate anymore. So they moved the whole Senate and forgot to tell the light side, and this is how the war really began. So Chu initiates a battle, swings with Darth Maul at Obi, draws a 5 and a 7, so it'll hit. Obi's forfeit 0. Obi will swing at someone. Doesn't. He'll probably swing at Maul. Should hit at this point. So he draws a 4 because of the flip Senate. And a 3. So he hits just barely, but he does. So it's power 11 to 5. And now we'll see some shenanigans from the political effects. So Chu draws a 4. And I think Justin should have added it to his power first and then used Liana. Just in case Chu decided to make it a 0. So you can see kind of how the Senate stuff happens. So he draws a Destiny. Justin gets first response. Justin gets Palpatine response. Chu will add 3. Justin will subtract 3. So it's still a 4. And then Justin will draw Destiny. Chu will subtract 3 probably. But maybe not, depending on what it is. It's a 5. I think Lot covers that if he really wants him to. He goes ahead and subtracts 3 because it will make Justin's Destiny a 2, which is 11. So Justin's down OB and 4 at this point. Justin will add 3 with Leia, who is a senator because of that text. So it's OB and 1 now. And Chu can lose Lot and cover it. And there's a Jedi Resilience, which I don't think we've seen any lost yet. So Justin must be holding probably one more Jedi Resilience, or it's somewhere in there that we just haven't seen, which is kind of surprising. So Chu now satisfies battle order and kicked Justin off of Coward. Justin can no longer do any damage next turn. He's going to take 1. He can't retrieve. So Justin just gets to lose 1 of his 13 force, 1 of which is OB. I suspect probably another Jedi's Resilience in his hand because we haven't seen any. And his political effects are stacked up, so he's got to deploy OB, draw some cards for some senators, and then, hey, I was right, there's a Jedi's Resilience in his hand. And then, okay, so he's just going to deploy from the, well, he can't deploy, I guess he can deploy Tenu there. He can't deploy Horrocks, though. He'll have to put Horrocks back, so he's got to use his last 2 force to do that. That's why I kind of think he would draw that last turn. It's because if he saved 2 on Chu's turn, he could have put these folks back. Oh, he doesn't. Alright. So now these guys are kind of just stuck here for a while. Like I said, he can deploy this, but he can't deploy that one. So Chu's going to get this drain of 2 through now. And he just increased his damage this turn. So he gets to drain for 2 for free. Oh, and he's doing a limit of resources that he refound. So, yeah, Chu's got this by a fair bit. We'll see if he does anything else. So he drains for 2. And it looks like Justin's just losing everything from reserve. We'll see if Chu wants to put anything back in his deck to increase his diff, because we are playing for diff. So diff does matter. Right now, Chu's up 24. That's kind of a lot. So drops Tomb Book. And Justin goes ahead and concedes, and I guess he's going to concede the whole match. Chu just locked him out of the game fairly well. This is a Chu masterpiece, and this is why Chu is one of the greatest to ever played. So, while everybody's watching, since I thought we still had a second game, Chu, Desai, and Baroni are putting up their Coruscant uncut sheet for Darkside Rares. If anybody wants to try to pick it up, you can reach out to one of those three. Some of the proceeds will go to supporting the Father's Day weekend next week. That or 2 weeks, I guess, when we do it. 3 weeks, I don't know when Father's Day is. But some of the proceeds from that sale will go support the PC in that event. So if you are interested in something that's pretty rare that hasn't ever actually popped up on eBay or anything like that, reach out to them, and if you really want it, reach out to them and work out a deal. And then, like I said, some of that proceeds will go to the PC and support them. So but that looks like that's all that's gonna happen. Justin, I don't think, wants to try to play round 2 to win by more than 24. So looks like Chu versus Baroni for the finals, and I don't know if the finals will end up getting played. It looks like I said, I think Baroni will probably end up scooping to Chu, so Chu will probably be the winner. But if the finals do end up getting played, then we will cover it here on the PC Twitch. Anyways, I think, like I said, I think that's everything. So hope everybody has a good weekend, good Memorial Day weekend, and enjoy your 3-day weekend, your holiday, and everything like that. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.